Hi everybody, welcome to the South Australian Sports Show. I hope you can stay with us for the next hour. I've got an absolute ripper of a show coming up. Plenty of guests coming in. My co-host, as always, Barry Curtin joins me. Baz, how are you?
Terrific, mate. How are you going?
I would imagine you would be, mate. Good win by your boys on the weekend.
Great win.
Now we're talking up Robbie Gray, unbelievably talented player, no question. He's been a superstar for the Power.
Yep.
A minute and a half before that, he could have been the most disliked player for that moment.
A couple of times.
Yet a minute and a half later, he's the hero of the game.
Yeah.
It's just funny how quickly it can turn.
Well, he gave away a handball to Marshall, which a goal he should have kicked himself.
Yep.
And then, of course, he missed from a similar angle that that he ended up kicking. But so it's amazing how
from villain to hero. I mean, if he had have missed, I know, and Robbie would have been devastated if he had it. And I'm not taking the moment away from it at all. But if that had have missed, I wonder whether we'd be talking about just a great goal he kicked, or whether we'd be talking about shouldn't have handballed it.
Yeah.
It's amazing how that handball's forgotten on the back of the win. But
I think he was lucky, mate, that he actually had that shot.
Yep.
First that he missed.
Yes.
So he knew exactly where he was going. He was on a bit of a tighter angle.
Yep.
But that first one that he missed from 25 metres out, but just left, he knew exactly where he was going with that second one. So he was a bit lucky that he had that first shot that missed, so he knew where he was going second time.
Who was the best player? Who was the best player for Port?
On the weekend, the best player for Port.
For you?
For Port Adelaide, I would have said, that's a tough one. That is a tough one.
Or top two. Give me a couple.
That's a tough one. I think our defence, I think Tom Jonas was our best player.
Okay. It's amazing, isn't it? So, and I'm not disagreeing. I think Tommy probably was.
I think Tommy was.
It doesn't get mentioned. We all talk about Robbie's kick. It's amazing how we remember the last moment of the game. And I know it's emotive and it's great.
Yeah, it's true.
But for me, when you put the coaching hat on, you always reflect back. You go into the rooms and you're excited about the win, but you go, gee, Tommy was our best player.
Yeah, Tommy
we should be talking about Tommy in the press conference.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know everyone will want to talk about Robbie because that's the moment they remember.
That's right.
But I'm just interested that he doesn't get a mention.
No, I don't think he was in our best
He
players.
didn't get dispatched, Tommy, but he just didn't get mentioned for the game that he had. I guess that's my point.
He had a great game.
The Crows, I thought we saw a little bit more from the Crows than we've seen. So I reckon, again, I know they didn't get the win.
Yeah.
I know the critics are out there, and some of them should be ashamed of the language and the comments they were making over the course of the game. The way that some of the fans were abusing Tex Walker, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Well,
absolutely
I don't know why
ashamed.
they do it, mate.
No, I mean, I know. Anyway, I don't want to get onto that right now, but I thought that the Crows fans would be disappointed with the loss, but they saw enough where things are starting to improve.
Well, they had some patches of pretty good play.
Yep.
That's something that's been missing in their games.
Yep.
Is those patches of really good stuff. They did it against Brisbane. They had about 10 minutes against Brisbane where they kicked about 2 or 3 goals.
Yep.
But then they went missing again. And that's down to guys who...
That's youth, isn't it? Inexperience.
That's right, and inexperience. They'll grow. Look, Ports at the moment, they've got players that have now played their 40, 60 games, around there. That's where you need to be. Keep them together. Once they've played about 40 or 50 games, that's when they start to feel like they belong at that level. Their body now is bigger and stronger. Adelaide are at that stage now where they're getting brushed off the footy because their bodies. The kids they're bringing in, even McHenry, he needs to bulk up. Well, he's only a little fella, but he needs to get stronger in the body, and he will. This is the thing. They're not going to be that small.
No.
All the time.
Yeah.
They'll get bigger, they'll get better.
So one of the best marks.
Play together.
Saw one of the best marks this year, one of the Crows.
Yeah.
One of the best marks against it.
Fisher.
Yep.
Yes,
that was a beauty, wasn't it?
Well, Sam Walsh's mark for Carlton.
Yeah, it was a beauty too.
I've given that
mark of the year.
Oh, no problem. No issue. You can climb on a guy's shoulders all you like.
Yeah.
But that was absolute courage by Sam Walsh. He's running back with the flight, and he's got Charlie Dixon coming this way.
Yeah,
I know where I'd be. 25 rows up in the grandstand.
Underground. Hey, you need to stay with us. We're going to talk the NRL, we're going to talk some boxing, we've got a dressage superstar coming in to have a chat with us. Southern Footy League to talk about, the SANFL, the Glenelg CEO in with us. It's going to be an exciting hour. Stay with us. What have you got for us on the international scene?
It's all happening.
Yep.
It is all happening. Now, we spoke about the golf last week and what the players were earning and how the Aussies were going on the PGA Tour.
Yep, and they'd gone better than the week before.
They'd gone a little bit better after we gave them a bake the week before that.
The Baz bake.
They heard it.
Yep.
They heard it.
And responded.
So in this one here, Jack Nicklaus's tournament, the Memorial, this is Jack's course, won by John Rahm. Now, John Rahm is a Spaniard, and with that win, not only 1.6 mil, but he also became the world number 1.
Wow.
Which is great. He's only the second Spaniard to do it after the great Seve Ballesteros, right?
Yep.
So there's only ever been two. So fantastic win by John Rahm. But the Australians, Jason Day, tied fourth. Hello. He's climbing. Tied 11 last week, remember?
Yeah, he's on the move. You
Tied fourth.
Yep.
418,000.
Oh, that's
not a bad
it's
weekend.
not a bad weekend.
Pretty
Yep,
good weekend.
Good weekend. Yep.
Mark Leishman,
Yes.
tied 40.
And
37,000.
still not a bad weekend. Cam
Smith,
Yes.
tied 68. Remember, there's probably
68?
Probably about 72 players.
Okay. Yep.
Tied 68, 19,158.
Still not too bad.
For finishing near last. And guess what? Tiger played in this. This is
Tiger Woods?
return
Yep.
to the
So he's
the
just
big
getting a
league.
feel for it. Where'd he come?
Tied 40th.
Tied 40th.
Tied 40th
Lazy
with Mark
37,000.
Leishman. 37 grand. So he's done that.
He wouldn't
well.
even. They wouldn't get the Astro
That's-
of his car,
that's
would it?
right. Exactly right, mate. Exactly right. He'd take that in coins for the
Yeah,
pokies.
he would,
Get
yeah.
that done. Gamble responsibly, by the way. The Formula One Hungarian Grand Prix.
Yes.
Now,
Watched it the other
these
night
are
on
really
TV.
good. They're good, but Daniel Ricciardo, 8th again. He's in that, isn't he?
He hasn't got a car though.
That's right. He doesn't go anywhere. He
Well,
sits in that 8th. And
He can't. He's, 9 times out of 10, he's lucky if the car finishes.
That's right. And they pass. They keep passing.
So he'll be out of Renault at the end of the year.
Yes, he is,
Yep.
and I think he might be happy to do that.
I think so too.
The MotoGP, Jack Miller, Aussie, finished now. Jack finished just off the podium, finished fourth. This guy's a great rider, mate. We don't hear much about him, but he's a great rider. The interesting thing about that race is Marc Marquez, who's a 6-time, I think, world MotoGP champion.
Yep.
Fell on the fourth turn. He fell when he was sitting up there, right up there, broke his arm.
Hey.
Back on the bike, climbs back from 16th, comes back to 4th again, and falls at the same lap.
Oh.
Now he's gone.
Yes.
Now this could be it for him. This
Oh,
is a very
career
serious
finishing.
broken, very serious. It always gets me, these guys, how they get up and get back on their bike. Got a broken leg and a broken arm, and they just get on the bike and off they go.
Courageous.
They're mad. They're mad. But keep your eye on Jack Miller. That's what I'm
Jack
trying to
Miller.
get out there.
Right.
The race for the Champions League, Phil, is massive.
Yes.
Now in the EPL,
It is.
You've got Chelsea, Manchester United, Leicester.
Yep.
All sitting pretty equal on points. Manchester United got a game in hand, and they play Leicester in the last game of the year. So that's going to go right down to the wire, as is the relegation business.
Right.
But and the FA Cup.
Manchester get it.
Two
Okay.
semi-finals played in the last week.
Yes.
Both, you wouldn't have picked this in a million years, both Manchester sides out. Manchester City, Manchester United, both
wouldn't have-
beaten.
you would not have picked
So
that.
it's an Arsenal-Chelsea FA Cup final. And
Yep.
I think Arsenal have got 21 cups or something like that. I want to finish off very quickly, mate,
Okay.
with the cricket.
Right.
Real quickly here. England just tied the series.
What does this
1-1.
mean?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure.
Okay,
But England
all right.
just tied the series 1-1.
Yep.
Against the West Indies.
Yes.
Been some good cricket played there, although very slow. But Ben Stokes,
Yeah, he a ton and then an 80-something.
170 odd in the first dig and 80,
Something.
smashed 80.
And some
odd.
wickets as well.
And wickets as well, and important wickets. So he's probably the best all-rounder in the world. But how the
Where's he
world
from?
turns, he's a New Zealander
Playing?
for England.
Right.
But he captained the first test.
Yes.
12 months before that, he could have been in jail.
And
so
maybe should have
it
been.
comes, maybe should have been.
Yep.
But it comes around, doesn't it? But he is the greatest all-rounder. He's the best all-rounder in the world at the minute. He would captain England in that first test. They got beaten after replacing Joe Root.
Mate, I know we've got to go, but just quickly, if you were playing for Australia and then you went to England,
Yeah, which I could do, my grandfather,
and
yeah.
suddenly England are playing against Australia, how would you be in that?
I don't think I could do it.
No.
But there's been a lot of players playing for England over the last few years.
from
A lot of South Africans.
Yeah.
And of course, Stokes, he's a New
Just
Zealander.
wonder how Stokes you go if you had to front up against New Zealand. Anyway, stay with us. Still, plenty to come after the scoreboard.